The auction was loud. Crowds pushed each other, shouting numbers and laughing. Most were alien traders with sharp teeth and greedy eyes. In the corner stood a human soldier, Jace Carter. He didn't come to buy anything. He just wanted to pass. Time before his ship left, a strange, large crate stood at the edge of the market stage. It was old, covered in chains and dust. The auctioneer, a thin alien with 4 eyes, smirked. "This strange cargo," the alien hissed, "was found drifting in space. No one knows what's inside. Might be trash or treasure." The crowd laughed. "Do I hear 1 credit? Anyone?" No one raised their hand. "Come on. At least use it for scrap." The auctioneer joked. He felt a chill. Something about the crate pulled his eyes. It wasn't normal. It was breathing? No, that couldn't be. 2 credits, Jay said suddenly. Everyone turned. The crowd laughed louder now. A human bought the mystery box. One alien shouted, "Maybe it's a cursed bomb." The auctioneer smiled wide. "Sold." Jace paid and loaded the crate onto his hover truck. He didn't know why he bought it. His gut told him something was inside. Something important. Back at his small desert outpost, Jace locked the doors and checked the crate. It was ice cold. Strange marks were burned into the metal like ancient writing. He grabbed a tool and broke the lock. Click. The chains fell. Creak. The crate door slowly opened. Inside was a girl. No, not a human. She had soft blue skin and long silver hair. Her arms were tied behind her. A thin metal collar shined around her neck. Her body was shaking. She wore nothing but torn cloth. Her eyes opened, glowing faintly. She tried to speak but only whispered, "Kill me, or take me." Jace froze. What was this? "I'm not going to hurt you," he said, stepping closer. She looked up weakly. "You're human." "Yes, my name's Jace. What's your name?" She blinked slowly, then whispered, "Zira." Jace knelt beside her. "You're injured. I'll get you help." "No," she cried suddenly, her voice shaking. "They'll find me." "Please, don't call anyone." Jace was confused. "Who are they?" She coughed. "Hunters. Lab. Men. They used me for breeding, experiments, then threw me away." Jace felt his stomach turn. She was trembling, weak, barely able to sit up. Zira whispered, "Your kind is the only match. My body is made to carry powerful offspring. With a human." Jace didn't answer. He was still trying to understand. Who would do this to? Someone? She looked into his eyes, full of fear. "Show mercy, human, please. I don't want to die in a cage." Suddenly, beep, beep, beep. Jace's base alarm went off. Someone was near. Zira panicked. "They found me." Jace grabbed his rifle and ran to the window. 3 figures in black suits were outside bounty hunters. They scanned the area with heat. "Sensors." Jace rushed back to Zira. "Can you move?" She tried to stand, but her legs gave out. "Okay," Jace said. "Then I'll hide you." He carried her to the storage room and laid her under a thick blanket, hiding her from scanners. The door knocked hard. Bang, bang, bang. Jace opened it slowly. The lead bounty hunter, a tall alien with gray skin and red goggles, stared at him. "We're looking for a stolen crate," he said coldly. "It was last tracked here," Jace shrugged. "I bought a junk crate from the auction, opened it. Nothing inside." The alien narrowed his eyes. "Mind if we take a look?" "Sure," Jace said calmly, stepping aside. The bounty hunters scanned the room but didn't find Zira. The lead one turned back to Jace. "If you're hiding her, she'd die. They all do. You'd be a fool to care." Jace didn't move. "I'm not hiding anything." They left as the truck rolled away. Jace returned to Zira. She was still under the blanket, eyes wide with fear. "They're gone," he said. "For now." Zira sat up slowly. Why did you lie for me?" Jace looked at her. then said quietly, "Because you didn't deserve that crate." She tried to smile, but her eyes were full of tears. JSE stood, thinking hard. This wasn't just a strange cargo. This was something more. Someone powerful wanted her gone. And now, she was his responsibility. Darkness filled the room. The only light came from the red glow of Zira's collar. She sat silently on the cold floor, wrapped in a blanket, her breathing slow, but not steady. She was having a nightmare. "Again, don't touch me," she whispered in her sleep, trembling. "Please, not again." Jay stood near the doorway, watching over her. He had seen war, blood, fire, screams, but nothing had made him feel like this. This girl, or alien, or victim, whatever she truly was, looked like a weapon and a prisoner at the same time. Suddenly, bang! The outpost shook. Jace ran to the window. 3 black hovercycles circled his building. The same bounty hunters, but now they brought heavy weapons. Jace turned to Zira. "We've got company." "Stay hidden." Zira sat up, her eyes still heavy with fear. "They won't stop, not until I'm dead. Or taken." "No one's taking you," Jace said firmly. "Knock, knock, knock." A calm voice spoke through the speaker. "Hello, human. This is a routine check. Come outside." Jace grabbed his plasma rifle and took a breath. He opened the door and stepped out. The lead bounty hunter removed his helmet, revealing pale green skin and deep scars across his face. "Let's make this quick," the alien said. "We tracked a life signature here, unregistered, female, very specific biology." Jace acted confused. "I live alone." "Search team," the bounty hunter ordered. 2 soldiers entered the outpost. Jace followed them inside, his hands clenched. His mind raced. If they open the storage door, if they scan too deep, it's over. 1 soldier scanned the walls. The other opened drawers and cabinets. When they reached the storage room, Jace stepped in front. "That room's locked." "Food supplies. Nothing living in there except expired snacks." The alien soldier narrowed his eyes, then turned away. Just as they were about to leave, Zira's voice echoed faintly from behind the wall. "Jace?" Jace's heart dropped. The lead hunter turned back slowly. "What was that?" Jace pulled out his rifle and fired. Boom! The blast hit the wall near the soldiers, not to kill, just to distract. He grabbed the nearest one, slammed him to the ground, and kicked the door shut. "Zira, run!" He shouted. She crawled out from a hidden trapdoor in the wall and gasped, blinking at the chaos. I can't." She cried. "You have to." He yelled, throwing a smoke grenade into the room. Thick fog filled the space. The hunters shouted orders. Red lasers fired randomly. Jace grabbed Zira and kicked open the back door. A stolen speeder was parked behind. The outpost. Jace had hidden it for emergencies. This was one. He helped Zira into the seat and jumped on. The engine roared. They sped off into the desert night. Behind them, the hunters screamed in rage. They didn't stop for miles. Only after the 4th ridge did Jace finally park the speeder under a large rock overhang. Zira was shaking, barely holding on. "Sorry," she whispered. "They're after me because I carry something rare." Jace handed her a canteen. "I don't care why they want you. I care about keeping you alive." She looked at him with wide eyes. "You risked your life." "For me," he nodded. "Someone had to." She pulled her blanket tighter. "They call my kind breeders. I was made in a lab, grown to mix alien DNA with humans. My body can make strong children. That's all they see me as. A tool." Jace clenched his fists. "You're not a tool. Not while I'm here." She looked at him for a long moment. "I believe you." Then she suddenly held her stomach. Her skin glowed faintly, a strange shimmer under the surface. Jace leaned closer. "What's wrong?" "My body," she said slowly, "is starting the bond process. It's automatic when we feel Safe. Jace stepped back. Wait, with me? She nodded, looking both scared and hopeful. You saved me, Jace. My biology thinks you're the one. He stared at her. He had only met her hours ago, but now, not only her life, but maybe something much bigger, was in his hands. From the sky above, a distant red light blinked. A tracker. They're still coming. Jace whispered. We have to keep moving. Zira nodded. Then let me show you something. I'm not just running. I was carrying something. They don't know. She reached into the back of her collar and pulled out a small glowing shard. It's not just me they want. It's this. Jace looked closely. It wasn't tech. It was alive. What is it? He asked. She looked into his eyes and said, It's the future of my entire species. The desert was silent until the wind screamed. Jace stared at the small glowing shard in Zyra's hand. It pulsed like a heartbeat, but it wasn't a machine. It was alive. What is that? Jace asked again, watching it carefully. Zyra held it close to her chest. It's a memory core. Inside it is the soul of my people, all that remains. Why give it to you? Because I was their last hope, she said softly. They hid it inside me when the labs came to take us. I'm not just a prisoner, Jace. I'm a vessel. Suddenly, boom. A blast lit up the rocks behind them. Dust rained down from above. They found us. Jace shouted, grabbing her hand. 3 bounty bikes roared over the dunes, chasing fast, their lights bright like stars in the dark. Hold on tight. Jace slammed the speeder's controls, and the engine screamed to life. Sand flew in all directions. As they escaped into the wild dunes of the alien desert. The chase was brutal. Jace weaved between sharp rocks and deep canyons. Zyra clung to him, her body weak but her eyes alert. One hunter fired a plasma bolt. It missed by inches. Another shouted, Give us the girl, human. You don't know what she is. Jace yelled back, She's not yours. He made a sharp turn, driving straight into a narrow canyon. The walls closed in, forcing the hunters to slow down. One tried to follow but crashed against the rock wall. Down to 2. Jace muttered. But the worst was still coming. Zyra gasped and pointed. Up ahead, minefield. Great, Jace said, eyes narrowing. Instead of slowing down, he pushed the engine harder. Zyra screamed. Are you crazy? Just hold on. The speeder jumped, dodging old hidden mines as blasts shook the canyon. Behind them, one of the hunters hit a trigger boom. Only one left now. Jace reached the end of the canyon and burst into the open wildland. Stot ahead stood a crashed ship, ancient, forgotten, its hull broken but large enough to hide inside. That ship, Zyra said. I know it. My people used it long ago. Then we're going there, Jace said, turning sharply. The last bounty hunter followed, but slower now, his bike damaged from flying shrapnel. Jace reached the wreck and slid the speeder behind it, shutting off the lights. They jumped out and rushed inside. The ship smelled like rust and dust. Vines had grown through the floor. Light barely entered. Zyra touched the walls gently. This was once our temple, a ship of memory. Jace helped her sit. We'll hide here for now. I'm tired, she whispered. But I feel safe again, Jace nodded. You can rest. I'll keep watch. But she didn't sleep right away. She turned to him and said, There's something else you need to know. He sat beside her. My body, Zyra whispered, is changing faster than it should. It's because of the memory core. It's feeding off me. Is that bad? She nodded slowly. If I don't stabilize, I'll burn from the inside. Jace stood. What do you need? She looked down. Bond. A partner. My kind is made to survive through connection, emotion, trust. He looked at her carefully. You're saying, if you don't connect with someone soon, you'll die? Her voice trembled. Yes. Jace looked away, his heart racing. Not because of fear, but because part of him already felt drawn to her. But before he could answer, thump. The bounty hunter was here. They heard heavy boots on metal. Jace raised his weapon. Stay behind me. The hunter entered the ship, slow and careful. He shouted, You can't protect her, human. You don't understand what she carries. I don't need to understand, Jace said, stepping out. I just need you to leave. The hunter laughed. She's not special. She's dangerous. The offspring she creates could end your kind. Zira stepped forward, weak but fearless. That's a lie. They want to use me to make weapons. But I was made to save, not destroy. The hunter pointed his gun at her. Then die a peaceful death. Jace fired first. Boom. The shot hit the hunter's weapon, blasting it from his hands. Jace tackled him, fists flying. The fight was rough, brutal. Jace took a hit to the ribs but knocked the alien out cold with the butt of his rifle. Breathing heavy, he turned to Zira. She had collapsed. Her skin was glowing too bright, now unstable. He ran to her. Zira, stay with me. Her voice was barely a whisper. I'm sorry. I'm running out of time. Jace held her tightly. Then I'll do whatever it takes. You won't die here. She was glowing like a star and shaking like a leaf. Zyra's body trembled in Jace's arms, light pulsing under her skin like flowing fire. Her breathing was shallow, broken, weak. Jace didn't know what to do. He'd fought aliens, led troops, survived ambushes. But this was something else. He wasn't fighting an enemy. He was fighting time. Zira, stay awake, he said, shaking her gently. Talk to me. She looked up, her eyes glassy. The memory core. It's feeding on me too fast. It wasn't meant to awaken like this. Jace laid her down on a broken seat inside the crashed ship. Tell me what to do. She struggled to speak, her voice thin. I was built, not born. I carry more than DNA. I carry ... memory, history, everything my creators wanted to pass on. She reached out and placed his hand on her chest, right above the glowing shard embedded in her skin. It's inside me. All of it. Their knowledge, their hopes, their pain. Jace felt a strange warmth under his palm. It wasn't just heat. It was life. Alive. And ancient. You're a living archive, he whispered. Zira nodded. But this body, it can't hold it for long. I need to connect. Bond. Share it. With me? Yes, she said, her breath shaking. You're the only match. The only one near. But it must be real. Not forced. The core knows the truth. Jace stared into her glowing eyes. He didn't see a weapon. He didn't see a prisoner. He saw a soul scared, alone, and clinging to hope. But before he could answer, boom. The crashed ship shook. The front door burst open. An alien drone hovered. Inside, black, round and deadly. It scanned the room, its red eye locking onto Zira. Jace raised his rifle and fired. Bang! The shot hit the drone's sensor, knocking it sideways. It crashed into a wall and sparked, but more buzzing echoed outside. More are coming, Jace said. We have to move now. Zira tried to stand but stumbled. Jace caught her. I'll carry you. No, she whispered. Wait, there's something here. Something old. She pointed to a strange panel on the ship's wall. Jace walked over and wiped away the dust. Symbols began glowing. Touch it, Zira said. He placed his palm on the panel. It scanned his hand. Suddenly, the floor beneath them shifted. A hidden staircase appeared. Down there, Zira said, weakly smiling. That's where the truth sleeps. They moved down the stairs quickly. The lower room was colder, darker, but humming with strange energy. At the center was a glowing table made of glass and light. Jace laid Zyra on it. The table reacted instantly, shining brighter, wrapping her in gentle beams of gold. She gasped. As the glow under her skin settled, Jace stepped back. Is it helping? Zira nodded slowly. It's stabilizing me, for now. This ship remembers me. She touched the side of the table. A projection appeared in the air, shimmering images of alien cities, stars, war, and then silence. This was our last home, she said. My people created me when the war ended. We were losing. And they had no future, so they made me to carry one. Jace watched the images Zira as a child, growing in a chamber, trained, tested, locked away. He clenched his fists. They used you like a lab rat. They didn't see me as a person, she said, just a shell to protect their last gift. But I do, Jace said, stepping close. I see you. Zira's eyes filled with tears. I can't do this alone, she whispered. You're not alone, Jace said, gently holding her hand. The memory core pulsed once, softly. Zira gasped. It feels your intent. It's calming, choosing. Jace's voice was low. Then let it choose. Suddenly, beep beep. The table blinked red. Zira sat up, startled. What is it? Jace checked the panel. It's detecting something. Another energy source nearby. A signal. Very strong. Zira's expression turned serious. It's them. They found this place. A voice echoed from above, cold, mechanical, and cruel. Surrender the vessel, or be turned to ash. Jace aimed his rifle toward the stairs. Let them come. Zira's voice was soft but strong. They want what's inside me. But they'll never get it. She stood light dancing. Across her skin, Jace stared in awe. She wasn't weak anymore. She wasn't just glowing. She was awakening. The ancient ship exploded behind them, burning. Like a fallen star in the night. Jace didn't look back. He was too busy running, dragging Zira through the thick trees of the alien forest. The air was damp. The trees were twisted and alive, glowing with strange light. Giant vines moved slowly, like they could think. Behind them, red scanner beams cut through the darkness. Keep moving. Jace shouted, pulling Zira forward. I'm trying, she said, panting. But my legs, my body still changing. A blast sizzled past their heads, slamming into a tree. It exploded into green flames. Drones were swarming the forest, hunting them, sniffing out Zira's energy signal. They want the core, Zira whispered. Not just me. They can't let me reach full bond. What happens if you do? Jace asked, ducking under a branch. Zira looked up at him with glowing eyes. Then I become more than just a carrier. I become a protector. They found a narrow stream and followed it into a small ravine. Jace jumped down first, helping Zira land. She was shaking, her body flickering with golden light. It's happening faster now. Because of the bond? He asked. She nodded. Yes, you're the one I was made to connect with. The core knows it. Suddenly, the ground behind them cracked. Boom! One of the hunters dropped in with a metal blade, taller than Jace. His mask hissed as he growled. You cannot run, human. She belongs to the Order. Jace stood in front of Zira. She belongs to no one, the hunter charged. Jace fired, bang bang. But the alien shield deflected it. The hunter slashed forward, fast. Jace barely dodged and rolled to the side, hitting a tree. Zira screamed. The hunter raised his blade for the kill, but before he could swing, Zira raised her hand. The air rippled. A golden wave exploded from her. Tom boom! The hunter flew back, crashing into rocks. His armor cracked. Zyra collapsed to her knees. I didn't mean to. Jace ran to her and caught her before she fell. You saved me. I didn't even know I could do that. You're getting stronger, she nodded. But the stronger I get, the more they'll chase us. They didn't stop to rest. The deeper they went into the forest, the more alive it felt. The trees hummed. The wind whispered. It wasn't just a forest. It was watching them. Where are we? Jace asked. Zira looked around slowly. This place was sacred to my kind. Long ago, it remembers me. Suddenly, a thick root moved across their path and split into steps leading underground. It's showing us the way, Zira said. Jace didn't argue. They followed the steps down into the earth. The underground chamber was warm, glowing softly with green light. Walls of crystal surrounded them, humming gently. The air was clean, peaceful. Zira touched the stone. Her body stopped flickering. She let out a deep breath. This is old magic, she whispered. Energy from my ancestors. It welcomes me. Jace stood guard at the entrance. Will it protect us? For now. She looked at him serious. We need to complete the bond soon. Jace frowned. What happens if we don't? The core will burn through me. It wasn't made to live. Inside an unfinished host. It needs balance. It needs you. He walked to her slowly. I've never felt anything like this, he admitted. I don't even fully understand it. You don't have to understand it, she said softly. Just feel it. Just choose me. He looked into her glowing eyes. I already have. The moment his hand touched hers, the crystals lit up bright. Around them, the floor pulsed. Zira gasped, light pouring from her skin. Jace didn't let go. You're not alone anymore, he said. The core inside her shifted, its glow stabilizing. Her breathing became calm. Her body stopped shaking. Feel complete, she whispered. The bond had begun, but far above the forest. A massive shadow moved through the clouds, a battleship, bigger than anything Jace had seen before. The true enemy had arrived, and it wasn't here to negotiate. The forest was no longer just watching. It was breathing with them. Deep inside the glowing crystal chamber, time seemed to stop. Light danced gently across the walls, wrapping around Jace and Zira like warm silk. Zira stood in the center, barefoot on the glowing stone, her silver hair floating slightly in the energy. Her skin shimmered gold, and her eyes held both fear and hope. Jace watched her, feeling something inside him shift. Something ancient and powerful. This place, Zira whispered, was made for this moment, for the bonding. Jace stepped forward. What do I have to do? Zira smiled gently. You already did it. You chose me, not as a tool, not as a weapon, but as someone worth saving. The crystal lights grew brighter. She raised her hand. Now we finish the ritual. Our bodies will link. Our minds will touch. The memory core will pass through me, into us. Jace hesitated for a second. Will it hurt you? It would have if I did it alone, she said. But with you, it becomes life. She stepped closer, placing her hand on his chest. Her touch was warm like sunlight. Jace slowly reached out and touched her cheek. Their eyes locked. Chamber began to hum. Zira gasped softly as energy moved through her body. It's beginning. Golden light flowed between their hands like a stream of fire. It wrapped around their bodies, lifting them slightly off the ground. Memories poured into Jace's mind, not just hers, but thousands. Cities in the stars. Voices of her people. Pain, love, hope. Loss, he saw her being created. Born in a lab, raised alone, trained to be silent and strong. But inside, she had always longed for touch. For someone to see her as real, he whispered, I see you. She smiled with tears in her eyes. And I see you, Jace. The light around them exploded in a soft wave. The bond was sealed. When they landed back on the ground, Jace was the first to speak. Are you okay? Zira nodded slowly. I've never felt more alive. Her body had changed, stronger now, glowing from within. The memory core had merged with her fully. And through the bond, Jace now carried part of it too. They were connected, in spirit, in memory, in purpose. But the peace didn't last. Suddenly, boom. The ground above them shook. A loud, metallic voice echoed down through the chamber. You have taken what is not yours, human. Surrender the hybrid or burn. Zira's eyes turned sharp. They're here. Jace loaded his weapon. Then, let them come. They rushed up the glowing route path as the battle began above. Drones dropped from the skies. Hunters marched through the trees with heavy boots and stun lances. The ship overhead, a black war fortress, blocked out the stars. But something was different now. Zira didn't run. She stood tall beside Jace, energy flowing through her fingertips. They still think I'm weak, she said. They're about to learn the truth. She raised her arms. Golden light burst from her body in a wave. The drones in the air exploded one by one. Trees bent to her will, wrapping around hunters like ropes. Jace stood in awe. Zira had become something else, not just a survivor, a force, a protector of her people's legacy. And his partner, the warship above, began to charge a weapon. Jace looked up. They're going to destroy the whole forest. Zira turned to him, her voice calm but full of power. Then we fight together. He nodded. Together. The sky was on fire. A black warship hovered above the forest, charging its main weapon. Red lightning flashed from its underbelly, lighting the trees below. The forest groaned like it could feel death coming. But in the center of that chaos stood two figures, one human, one alien. Now bonded forever, Zira stood tall, her golden light pulsing like a star ready to explode. Jace stood beside her, armor cracked, weapon in hand, but his eyes steady. They weren't running anymore. They think they're gods, Zira said softly. But they've never faced something. Bonded, Jace grinned. Let's show them what that means. The enemy descended fast, dozens of hunters in black armor, armed with shock cannons, walking through the burning forest like shadows. Their leader stood above them on a hover platform. He shouted through a loudspeaker, "You were made to serve. Zira, you were never meant to choose your own fate." Zira stepped forward. Her eyes glowed bright gold. Her voice echoed like thunder. "I choose freedom." She raised her hands and slammed them down. The ground shook. A golden energy wave rippled through the soil. Roots and vines exploded upward, wrapping around the hunters like chains. Some were thrown into the trees. Others screamed before being silenced. Jace joined the fight, firing plasma bolts, covering her side, moving like lightning. He wasn't just defending Zira. He was fighting with her. For the first time. She wasn't alone. The warship in the sky responded. Its main cannon opened wide. It aimed directly at them. Zira gasped. "It's going to fire. We won't survive a full hit." Jace didn't blink. "Then we hit first." Zira touched the ground and whispered in her old language. The forest answered. Energy flowed from every tree, every root, every ancient seed. Deep beneath the earth, channeling through her body, her skin turned pure light. Her voice was no longer just hers. It echoed with the voices of her ancestors. "I am Zira, last of the soul bearers, and you will not take my future." She lifted both arms to the sky. A massive beam of golden energy exploded upward straight into the warship's cannon. The two beams, red and gold, clashed in the sky. The air shook. Clouds split. Time seemed to stop. Then bo. The warship's cannon cracked. Fire burst from its sides. Inside the ship, alarms rang. The hull glowed red. It began to fall. The hunters on the ground screamed and ran. Jace shielded Zira with his body as the flaming ship collapsed beyond the trees, crashing into the valley with a shockwave. Silence followed, only wind and breathing. Jace opened his eyes slowly. The sky was blue again. The forest was quiet. And Zira, she was still glowing. But now softer, calmer. "You did it," he said, stunned. "We did it," she replied. He smiled, helping her to her feet. "Are you okay?" She nodded. "The bond saved me." "Saved everything." Jace looked at her. truly seeing her now not as the broken girl in a crate, not as a weapon, but as something rare, a protector, a partner, maybe something even more. Zira stepped close. Now I carry more than memory. I carry a new life. Jace blinked. You mean? She nodded, placing his hand gently over her stomach. Our child. It's already growing. He didn't speak for a moment. Then he laughed softly. Well, guess I'm not going back to base. She smiled. You're not just a soldier anymore, Jace. You're a father, a protector. Just like me. They stood together as the forest healed around them, roots pulling back into the earth, leaves unfolding, light shining from every tree. The world had changed, and they had changed with it.